here's kind of my overall thoughts, and then we'll jump into other stuff. Um, I like the design philosophies they're going with. Um, I like the multi-tree aspect. I like the strike and build on it later. I think we mentioned like there's the Unyielding Sentinel needs some building on that. I think, but um, I like the ideas towards the epic moments. Again, numbers need some tweaking and maybe some redesign stuff. But from a framework point of view, I really like where they're going right now, especially without the charge building spender thing. Um, so I like a lot of what they're going from a design standpoint. Um, I think a lot of the thing that I would caution for players is um, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be looking at that's gone. It's not here. It's not coming back. And a lot of those are really popular abilities. And I have a lot of concerns that a lot of people won't give this the time to play with to see how it can be really cool and amazing because they're just going to look at what they don't have and they're not going to give it that chance and they're going to bow out. And I mean, I think that's going to happen. And the only question for me is that going to be 10% of players, 20% of players, 80% of players? So I hope people give it a shake, like give it a shot. The place that I'm down the most on this system is the number of points we have available. I didn't play around with it a ton, but um, the way that they have pitched this system as being really versatile, being able to go into 3 trees, some of the power that you're losing you'll be able to make up because you can take cores from 3 different trees and that kind of a stuff. Like I bought into that. But when I'm kind of like having going on Lamani and kind of plugging some things in and spending points, where I came out of that was the amount of points that we're getting do not support that, do not achieve those design goals. It is not flexible if you don't have points to spend in the trees. If you want so right now, a fresh epic player, someone who's never been in epics before, will start with 12 points at level 20. You can get to around 50 points. I think it's 55-ish or something like that. If you have all of the epic pass lives, you'll start with 23 points. So you're going to have, if you have all the pass lives and stuff, you're going to have 11 more points to spend in a tree. For context, if you want to get a tier 5 ability, you have to spend 30 points to unlock it. If you want to get all 3 cores from 2 other trees, you need to spend 11 points in each of those trees. Without spending any points in a tier 5 to get a tier 5 abilities and cores out of 2 other trees, you're already at 52 points. Which means if you're a fresh player, you have maybe 5 points that you can spend in a tier 5. There are not enough points to achieve the flexibility and power goals that they are claiming. I don't know if you guys don't have anything to add. I'm done.
Now, the number of points, that I got, when I, transferred my tunes over, for the most part, I got 57, and on one tune, for some reason, I got 58 points, and I was really, and I, one of the on one only one of the tunes I really, tried to spend, all those points and try to diversify into 2 other trees. And I agree. 57 points was just not enough. But, keep in mind that I don't have any of the points from Epic Past Lives. So maybe I could have gotten, 61 or 62 points. I still feel that even if I had 62 points, it would still not feel like enough.
I mean, I had
Um,
62 on my tank because I think that the numbers are bugged or something. There's some points not going in there.
right.
And it didn't feel like enough points.
Yeah.
And that's with all the epic pass lives.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 9 epic pass lives to get 1 point to spend. That's a lot of pass lives to get 1 point. And there's not enough points. There's just not enough points to spend in these trees. And if you're talking about like they don't want that, like they want your power level to be not like a huge drop off at level 20. I mean, 23 points if you have all the epic pass lives to start at level 20. Like you're not gonna have anywhere near the amount of power that you have, which is not necessarily completely a bad. Like it's not. They're trying to front load some of it, but you still like everything they're talking about for design standpoint for how much power you're supposed to have, whether it's at the beginning or at the end. You need more points. Period. There are not enough points.
Well, let's also keep in mind that the tiers are also level gated. So even if you're at level 20 or whatever, you're not going to be able to get a tier 5 ability anyway, right?
Sure.
You're gonna have to be up to level 26 to get tier 5. So I
23
mean,
points. If I'm spending that in 3 trees, that's 8 points per tree.
right. Well, but that's also, I mean, but are you talking about a tune that has become level 30, or are you talking about a tune that's level
Talking about
20?
level 20.
Okay, so maybe 8 points in 3 trees isn't so bad. I mean, I don't know. I didn't try it. So, is 8 points in 3 trees, is that terrible for a level 20 tune?
I don't know. Overall, I just like there's just not enough points. I don't think they're going to achieve. I don't think players are going to achieve their design intent without more points.
Yeah, and I agree with.
At every point in the system.
Oh, maybe.
I just don't feel like it's there.
Definitely at the end, but
And
maybe
beginning,
even
maybe.
in the early levels too.
I'd also like to add that it sounds like there's still more trees that we're not going to get when this goes live in update 51. There's still some warlock tree, and there's going to be some artificer tree someday. It's going to feel incomplete. Some people have been waiting for those for years. Let's make that happen.
Those trees are gonna like unlocking those trees though. You get like 1 point to spend per tree you unlock. So that's not gonna move the needle very much. I mean, like 1 point is good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not there. That's
No,
really
it's not going to
it.
add to the points, but I'm just saying, it will be nice to have those trees. We're just speaking about, in general about our feelings about this overall system. I hope it doesn't take 5 more years to fill out the rest of the destinies.
Right.
Well,
all
let me
right.
ask you then, Patrick, how many points do we need? I mean, do we need like, so like for the action points, we get, like 82 or 83, assuming that you buy the crap from the store or you got the stuff from the expansions. I mean, do we need like 82 or 83 points in your opinion to meet the design goals of the Epic Destiny changes?
I don't have a great answer for that. I think the front loaded part is probably needs more points than the end game needs more points. And I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know where they're going to go like when you get past level 30, right? So that could potentially change some of the metrics. But
Sure.
like they sold me on a system that's going to be versatile and like more versatile, not less power. And if I have all the points I can have, I still don't think that achieves that goal still. And we have to recognize that most players are not going to have all the points. Right? Now, granted, there's a difference there of like 11 points, I think, between like having all the past lives and not having all the past lives. But still, that's not insignificant. And if I don't feel like from spending the points a couple of times that I'm going to achieve that goal of power and versatility with all of the points, I don't understand how someone who's got 10 less points is going to achieve that
Sure.
compared to now.
Right.
So, there's not enough points. I don't know how many points we need to get to that point, but I mean, I'm basically able to spend. If I want a tier 5, I can barely get cores in the 2 other trees, and I'm not going to be going higher than tier 2 in either of those trees to get that. If you want tier 5 and more than a tier 2 in another tree, you're not going to get any points in the other. You're going to have very few points to spend in your 3rd tree. And that's not the versatility that I bought into when they were talking about it.
Okay, fair enough.
And maybe it's not, potentially, it's not actually more points. It's lower point thresholds to get to the next level. Like, that may actually be a better answer. Maybe you only need to spend 20 points to get to tier 5. And you only need to spend 3 points to unlock the 2nd core and 6 points to unlock the 3rd core. That may actually be the better solution than more points. So.
And maybe make a lot of the multi-point abilities, have to spend 3 points to get the best, the top, the best version of it. Maybe just reduce all those to 1 point and you get the best version right off the bat. Because that would be fewer points that you have to spend in the tree, and it would be certainly a lot easier to get to the top.
Maybe. I don't know if that's necessarily. I think it's more the versatility aspect of like being able to spend. It doesn't really matter how if I need to spend 30 points to get into tier 5, it doesn't really matter how many levels various abilities have. I still need to spend 30 points in the tree to get there.
Right.
And that still leaves
Okay.
me hardly any points to
I
spend
see
in the
what
trees.
you're saying. Okay, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea actually.
The power, it's more the versatility than the power, right? Like
Right.
the power that they promised came through the versatility aspect of being able to spend points in a bunch of different in 3 different trees.
Right.
And that's not there.
Instead of spending 5 points per level to get to the next level, maybe you do it like 3 points per level to get to the next one.
Sure. Or it's like it's 5 points just to get to tier 3, 10 points tier 4, 15 tier 5, or 20 tier 5 or something like that.
Yep.
And you can just buy in 1st and 2nd tier, or 5, 10,
Right.
15, 20. That would probably work too. But it's 30 to get to the top tier, and that's not working.
Sure. Okay.